guys in the UTVs really test their UTVs.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially that one, which is great.
Yep.
Which is totally allowable and fantastic. But the guys that are really pushing it, yeah, they're going to mess up some of those exhaust systems.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
So yeah, they probably need to replace it after a race.
And then also, you know, we're going to have a ton of bone stock UTVs down here. They're going to come down here. A lot of those people, it's the first time they've raced, first time they've done anything like this. They're going to come down here. They're going to see some of these other UTVs. They're going to get the bug, and then they're going to be like, oh, shoot, I want an exhaust now. That's usually how it starts.
And with the bone stock UTVs, yeah, they're the bone stock ones, but it doesn't mean that much. I can go back to former Norra racers, Wayne Matlock, Kristen Matlock and stuff. Kristen, in a previous race, in a Score Series race, in her stock UTV, took the UTV overall.
Crazy,
so
right?
driver skill plays a lot in the UTV class as well.
I will.
The experience.
It certainly does, and she's in the new Polaris Razor.
Yeah.
And I'm involved with another series. It's the Red Bull UTV Scramble Series, and which is pretty cool about this. Other than just the speaker, I go in several days early. They lay out the course, and I run the course.
Oh, beautiful.
And slow, little by little, get a little faster. We make changes for safety for spectators and competitors alike. And then before we go race day, the night before, I go out with an insurance adjuster, give that person a ride around. They sign off on the insurance. Then I put a transponder on, and I go set a real lap. And our courses are anywhere from 4 to 6 miles. And then we use my lap time to determine how many laps the pro class will go.
Oh, to fit within the time frame.
Yeah. And I do it with a brand new Polaris Razor. It's bone stock, and that thing is awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect testimony from everything we always hear about. Basically, you can get a race car straight from the factory. Well, there's proof.
Yeah. I go out, and so the reason I'm saying this is because if you have yourself a stock UTV at home, it doesn't have to be a Polaris, but these newer machines, stock, are just awesome right off the showroom floor. And I'm going out bone stock tires, shocks, and everything in that Polaris Razor. And I'm in the top 10 fastest laps of the weekend every race I go to.
That's awesome.
That's bone stock.
Yeah. That proves it. UTVs have come a long way from when they first started. All the old curmudgeons calling them golf carts and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them still do for some reason.
Yeah.
But no, they've come incredible long ways in technology, safety, all the improvements in these UTVs.
Yes.
It's mind blowing actually how far they've come in a short period of time.
Yeah. So if you're at home and you got in the last few years, you got yourself a bone stock Razor. You're like, man, I want to go racing, but I don't want to dump a lot of money into it. You don't have to. Or a
Can-Am, or a Textron, or whatever the other brands are.
Yeah, it can be any of them. You don't have to dump a lot of money. You just got to dump some gas in the tank, fill that bad boy up. Maybe get yourself a spare tire or two. Go to Yokohama, get yourself a couple spare tires. That's smart. A couple spare belts, and that's all you need. Come down here and go racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So continuing on, we'll talk more about this, but over $30,000 in purse money and stuff. So that's really, really exciting. Really, really exciting stuff. And then also, Kevin, let's touch a little bit more on our courses. So this is a 2-day event, and we're sitting here. Once again, I say I'm cheating. I call it being professional, man. We do our homework, Kevin and I do.
Well, we have to look at the course, you know.
You got to look at the course.
Kind of important.
So we have a northern route. We're here in Ensenada right now. We have a northern route that's coming up here through the pine forest and things. And then we have a southern route, as you see here, zooming in on it, starting here in Ensenada each day and finishing as well. And with the northern route coming down a little bit south up through the pine forest up here, they've got rain all over in the peninsula. So, the hurricane was pretty gnarly, so that's going to change things up. And then we got our southern route in and out of Ensenada again, and then down all the way around through Kevin's neck of the woods and everything, and back up. Kevin, tell us a little bit about the southern route, since you are very familiar with that as well.
Yeah, the southern route is going to be great. What's going to happen is there's going to be a ceremonial start here in Ensenada, and then they're going to have a liaison or just a little taxi run down to San Vicente where they'll restage and start the racing in earnest where the timing starts. They'll go from Santo Tomasa, run a little mountain loop there, jump out on Highway 1, turn into the turnoff where Arendara is, take that road on a timed fashion, speed limited fashion. Then they're going to jump into the riverbed, and that's where the fun begins, mainly for that race. Where they come, they put a couple loops in the early part where they have to climb some hills and jump back down, but then they fly to the coast where I'm going to be broadcasting from on Saturday. There's a little hill climb there, and then they go down. Then they run a lot of the familiar racing from a bunch of series along the coast, all the way down to Colonet, where the big point that jumps out on the coast there. They're going to turn back there and then head their way back. They're going to take the Calentura Road. They're going to head back north and take the Calentura Road all the way over, pass and across Highway 3.
Okay.
And take that back and then work their way back up. I believe that you can use the goat trail back into Ensenada.
Right.
So very interesting, very rough. And again, with all the, the Score 500 was just here, and there was a lot of the ruts and stuff, and they had to move their course a couple times, mainly in the southern area, down by Colonet.
Yep.
The rest of it, though, Baja's amazing way of just fixing itself. The ruts fill in. There's ranchers out there. They improvise and they put some stuff and fill it, but still, it's not easy. And so the course is going to be challenging, which Eliseo and his crew put together. I live down there in Arendara, and I'm watching I can hear them on the radio when they're in town checking the course. I can tell by the voices. I know who it is. So they've been down there setting it up, and I think everyone's looking forward to it. And that southern route that runs along the ocean is some of the most beautiful spots to race on the planet.
Right, it absolutely is. And I'll say I've never been involved with racing north of Ensenada. I've never been in a race, whether as a racer or a chase team or anything, north. Everything I've done is down south, so I'm relatively familiar with it as well. Someday, one of these days, Eliseo, one of these days, you're taking me. I'm going with you. I'm going to see what the northern route's all about, because I can't even speak intelligently about it, because all I know is what people tell me. I haven't been on that portion of it, and that needs to get fixed.
Right,
I need to be up there.
And you talked to Mike, and Mike said that nobody races on it except for Norra.
Right.
So it's some pristine parts of racing up there, and there's a lot of permission, a lot of thanks to the ranchers out there as well that let Norra come through. Being respectful. And the thing about Norra is that makes it a little easier for us to get some doors open. Is Eliseo is very smooth, but also there's no pre-running for Norra.
Right.
There's zero pre-running, so it's road book navigation.
So much to it to go out and kind of to convince these people that, hey, yes, we can do this. And no, I'm not saying that everyone just says, yeah, do it for free. There's some payments in there and things to make it happen, but the respect that's given in between the ranchers and the Norra crew, and how important it is for our sweep teams to do a good job, because this is their livelihood, their cattle, their horses, all these things, and we're saying, hey, I know you use this property to support your family and the village you live in and all this stuff, and we want to go race through it at 100-something miles an hour, and we want to open up all your gates and everything, and for them to say, okay, let's do it. It's so important for the Norra crew to do what they said they were going to do, and do it in a safe manner, and shut all these gates, and I say it's a big deal. There's a ton of stuff like this. I mean, there's when you're racing, you're in one fence line out the other, in one fence line out the other, boom, 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 and that can really mess up a rancher's program there. And we've seen before as well where a competitor will get off course and take down 100 yards of fence.
Yeah.
That needs to get fixed right away.
Right.
Before cattle and things start getting out. And so these are all things, all the little things that you don't really think about that come into play when you're racing here in Norra.
Right, and for some of you that are watching that aren't exactly familiar with how that works, the drivers don't get out and open the gate. Before the event, Norra sends our guy out there, drawing a blank on his name, sorry. Norra sends the guy out there to run the course and open all the gates before the riders get there, then sweep closes them at the end. But Sean, what we were just talking about is Norra's the only ones that race on those courses and get the permission. And the truth and the proof is that Norra does do what they say they're going to do, because they're having us back again and again and using their ranches again. Right. So talk about being respectful and earning the respect of the ranchers and of those small ejidos. A shout out to everyone down there as well.
Absolutely, and that's the key. I mean, as soon as one time you don't do what you say you're going to do, it's all over for everybody. And it ruins it for everything. Right. Which we just can't allow to happen, because we're the only people that get to race on these areas here, and we want to keep it that way. So a lot of great stuff yet to come throughout the day. Honestly, I don't know. I can't see what's going on in Tech, but there might be some type of holdup here, because we've only seen 3 vehicles come through so far. Well, you guys have been a lot more vehicles here.
Yeah, you've been watching us, and we've been switching back and forth with the cameras, so you're also seeing what's going on with Tech. So Sean and I are going to take a little break here, and then we'll be back with you guys, 10 minutes or so, I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes, and when some of the drivers get up here, we'll be with you with them for some interviews. Yeah. So again, thanks for watching. We'll be here all day today. And again, let your friends and family know that we are live here at the 2022 Norra 500.
Cool. 45-minute open.
Yeah. Oh.
Sit on them chairs, man.